I encourage everyone to take a moment and breathe and take a tea cheers with a Jiri tea. A Jiri tea recognizes the beauty in shared stories and shared opportunities. Ajiri sources award-winning tea from Kenya, employs women in the region to handcraft the labels, and sends 100% of the profits back to the region to support orphan education. Save 10% on your order of Kenyan teas and coffee with the code BeautifullyHuman at ajiritea.com. AJIRIT.com. Tea mugs up. Hello, and welcome to the Beautifully Human podcast. I'm Nick Sheesby. In this podcast, I speak with beautiful humans from all around the world, sharing with you their incredible stories, revealing the power in every human story, to spread love and humanity to a world that is in desperate need of it, to show that we can all connect in beautiful ways no matter where we come from or what we look like. What you will find out is that we are all beautifully human. Let's all be beautifully human. So you brought up your dad. I wanted you to share your story of your citizenship.
Oh yeah.
That whole
Well,
crazy shit.
it is yeah. Well, when I was born in the States, right? In 1986, and my parents I guess had met here in 84. My dad was part of the Cypriot embassy and my mom was part of the um PAHO, which is the Pan American Health Organization, which is a division from the WHO. Um, and basically, when you're and my dad, so my father was a diplomat. So under U.S. law, most Americans that are born in America are granted citizenship of natural birth or whatever. But since he was a diplomat, I was you children of diplomats fall under this thing called the blue list. I don't know if it's still called the blue list, but it was back then. Basically, they're not granted citizenship because then every diplomat in the world would just come here and have babies, and then fucking they would all be citizens. So whatever. So I couldn't get my citizenship till I was 18, and then when I did turn 18, um, I was just like, well, I don't really even need it. Like, what does it grant me besides voting? Um, or whatever. And then, like, I guess the more I looked into it, I guess when my parents die, that the government will take half of their assets if I'm not a citizen. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I don't really
Damn.
even know. Yeah, I don't know. There's some tax thing about inheritance and being a because they're not citizens.
Okay.
So I don't know what the deal with taxes are. I don't quote me on that. I'm not a tax law person, but um I was just like, well, that's scary and whatever. And then and then um I was just being like afraid of being deported, and like I'm just like, oh my god, the state of the world was disastrous. So like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, yeah, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I started the process of getting my citizenship, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. So I got an immigration lawyer because the wording on the uh, immigration form to become a citizen is so ridiculous that if you don't answer the right question or whatever, like properly and shit, like I didn't want anything to go wrong. So I had a lawyer do it. It was very expensive, but I had a lawyer do it. And then it took about 6 months before I got a appointment to do my biometrics. So basically, I just did my fingerprint and like pictures and stuff, whatever. And then it took another 2 years or like a year and a half after that to get an appointment to go for the first interview. And that was just for the first one. And like,
Wow.
dude, it was crazy because like when they send you the appointment, you can't change it. Like you
Yeah.
sort of can, but it's like it's not advised.
Right.
So, and I was just like, oh god damn it. All right. So, and then this was the tour that it was. I was starting with Kill Switch and Parkway Drive, and it was the second, or was the it was going to be the very first show was the date of my appointment. I was like, oh my god. So I flew from DC to San Francisco. We had the rehearsal day, and then the second day I was going to have the sound guy from Parkway Drive just fill in for the one show. I flew overnight from San Francisco back to DC, so that's two coast to coast trips. Did my biometrics throughout the day. I did like it was a red eye or whatever. I got there at 8 a.m. My appointment was at 10:30. Had left back, went home for like 2 hours, then went back to the airport and flew back to the Los Angeles. And I got to Los Angeles by 4 o'clock because they did San Francisco and then LA. But I got to LA at 4 o'clock just after sound check, and I was there for the show the next day. So I only missed one show, and then did 3 cross country flights in like 2 days, which was nuts.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was absolutely. I was super tired. I was almost dead by that point. But like, and then after that, then they grant you. I did the interview, and basically you just have to meet them. It's really ridiculous because it only took like 10 minutes. I was just like, was this even necessary?
Right.
Oh, whatever. So then finally, like, I don't know, 6 months later, I was like, they're like, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. You have to come do your hearing. And then like, luckily I was home for that. So I could actually go to, back to the USCIS office and like do the whole like naturalization ceremony, which was cool.
Yeah.
But man, that was a crazy ride because it took so long. I like could not believe it took like 2 years or 2.5 years or something crazy. It's like, why does this take so long?
Yeah. No
And like, I remember getting my green cards, even renewed when I was younger, would take like 8 months. And yeah, I know it's ridiculous. And like, I would have to go to Baltimore, which is like maybe like an hour, to get a stamp in my passport, saying that because they would keep my green card when you're getting it renewed, they keep the current one that you have, and then you get the stamp or whatever that basically says that. But then I had to go to secondary immigration every time. I was like late for flights for like 8 months, dude. It was brutal.
Oh, yeah,
I
that
know.
sucks, dude. Yeah,
but
I remember there was a time we were crossing into Canada, and you showed, I don't remember what card it was. You probably know, but you showed these officers, the border agents, this card, and they all like passed it around because they'd never seen one before. Was that? Do you remember that?
Oh, okay. So on my green card, it says birthplace Washington D.C.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and that was, and they were like, "What the hell? Like, why aren't you a citizen?" So like this whole like this blue list law thing about diplomats and children, I think, was not a very common thing. But I was just like, honestly, y'all should know some shit. But it was
right.
the U.S. border agents, especially the U.S. agents. I was like, y'all should know this is like I can't believe you don't have foreign nationals coming through here all the time. Like,
right.
Like, you guys should know this law. So they were like all freaking out. And every time I've showed it to any agent, I mean, I don't have it anymore, but anytime I've shown them that the card, they're like, this is so weird. Like, it says you're born here, but
yeah.
Yeah. And even when I went to go get my shit renewed, actually the secretary, the woman taking my files, was like, birthplace Washington D.C. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you want to see my birth certificate? Like, I don't know. It was super funny. Like, it just blew me away that no one knew what it was, like, that was the thing. And I was like, whatever. It's pretty funny though.
Yeah, I do.
But no, I do remember that night. I remember that was like a late night crossing. I think I remember.
Yeah, and I just remember them passing it around and like getting the what the hell?
Yeah,
just nobody knew what
funny.
was happening, and that was like,
yeah, I know.
Even I was like, "The fuck did you do, dude?" And then you told me the story, and then it kind of led to our conversation about that, and I was like, "You were born here. You've paid because you had paid taxes your whole life here, right?"
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And you had a whole LLC, and
well, the LLC is more recent. So the LLC I got when I was a citizen. So before that, I just was like a 1099 worker. Gotcha. But still, I pay. Nothing was different for my citizenship except for the fact that I could vote, and I actually don't even know what else. What else is different?
Right.
I did get to vote for the first time ever this year. Super stoked about that. I was really happy about it. And I went and did the old school handwriting like
Yeah,
ballot
cool.
method. I was like, I'm not going to do the electronic one. I'm like, I got to go old school for my first time.
That's awesome. I don't have any reason for not having voted until this year, but this was my first year voting too.
Nice.
I just either didn't give a fuck or
Whatever.
wasn't paying attention. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that
Well, yeah, I was just like, you know what? This is my first time. I'm going to do it. So
yeah, totally. And that was what I thought was ridiculous. Is like you're paying taxes, you've been here your whole life, and you're still not a citizen. It's like,
yeah, it's
how does
really
that even
weird.
happen? How does that
I
even
don't know.
happen? So
I don't know.
crazy, so crazy.
Really.
And then to have to do that whole process. It takes 2 years, and you were born here and you've lived here your whole life.
Yeah, and it was quite expensive. I mean, so the application is like $800. It's like what the government charges, and then like the lawyer was like, I don't know, 2,000 some dollars or whatever. And like I was just like, I guess I didn't really need the lawyer, but I was just like, I should probably just get it anyway. I'm not home to deal with things, right? So I was like, I was on tour. I was just like, I just want someone else to deal with it.
Yeah.
And basically, since I had all of these, like, one of the questions is like, list all of your entry and exit dates for the last 10 years. And I was just like, oh my God. I was like,
oh
for
Jesus.
any normal dude, for any normal person, it's like, oh, like maybe 3 or 4
Sure.
entries and exits. Dude, my list was like 2 pages long of like,
yeah.
I literally had to go through, I had to find even my 2 older passports before I was even touring and look at all of the entry and exit dates and find each. I was like, can't you just give me a list? Like they have a list, obviously.
Right. Have to.
Like, yeah, when you come in, they scan your passport and then they fucking, that's it. I was like, can you just give me the list? And so like I had to write down, I literally had to go through, I was like on Metal Sucks and Lamb Goat trying to find tour dates.
Sure.
Of like, I was just like, okay, this tour started August 4th. And I was like, I probably left the 1st, or whatever. Like, because on our passports, there's return dates, but not exit from the U.S. date. So
right.
that was like a whole couple of days of like trying to find shit. And then I had like lost one of my passports. I found it, thank God. But like, there was a whole like couple of years that I was like, I don't have any dates here. This is weird.
Yeah. Oh,
and then like I realized that I was like missing a passport finally, but it was just like
that question again. Yeah, for a traveler that just goes on random vacations and might leave once or twice every 3 years.
Totally.
Oh God, I would have seen that too and just been like, "Go, fuck, come on."
Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, all in all, like I just wanted someone else to deal with it. So, it was just an expense. I was just like, whatever, I'll just do it. It's not a big deal.
Of course. So on that note, I know we do get to travel more frequently than most people. We're very fortunate in that. Tell me a favorite travel moment for you.
Man, favorite travel moment?
I know it's a very insanely broad question because there's so many and so many different kinds of experiences of personal travel and tour travel, but
either one, personal or tour.
Oh yeah, personal or tour, either or, man. Oof. Whatever you feel like, whatever pops to your head.
Okay. There is one, I'll give you a tour one. There was this moment that we were in, we're doing an Asian tour with Periphery, and we were in South Korea, and lovely city, everyone's first time there, unbelievable place. And we had just finished a show, and we were all super hungry. And so we're just like, and it's like, I don't know, I don't even remember what time it was, probably like 11:30 or something. And the show ended kind of early or whatever it was. So we're walking around this, like the small streets, and we found this one place that was like that looked kind of open, and we walked in, and it was just like this like old lady, and she was like, oh, we're closed. And then she could see that there was like 12 of us there, because it was like the band plus like the promoters and some friends of promoters or whatever. And she was like, no, come in. And then like literally most of the lights were off. Like the kitchen was off. Like we were like, what? And she's like, no, come in. She literally turned everything on, called her husband and her son, and they came from their house and then like turned all the grills on, and it was just us the 12 of us sitting in this like amazing Korean barbecue place, like literally like lit up charcoal. It was like all charcoal based, like whatever. And I was just like, it's not even a gas. It wasn't like an easy thing. This was like
Sure.
an event. And I just remember it was just like, you literally didn't have to do this. And she was just so nice to us. And they, I guess they were just so happy to have the business, like we were just so stoked to be fed, but they were super nice. We made them sit with us and everything.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I think that's one of my most memorable moments was that I remembered pretty vividly, just like walking in and be like, no, come in, like like they were going to sleep. It was like nighttime, it was like midnight
Yeah.
or whatever, and they were just going to bed. And like I remember them just being turning everything on and like flipping, and we were there till 3 a.m. like
Damn.
yeah, but it was, well, because it like they had to turn everything on and
Right.
like make like prepare food and shit. Like this was crazy. And she was like, no, it's okay. We like they wouldn't let us leave at this point
That's
because we
amazing.
we all felt bad. We are like, let's just go to McDonald's or something,
Yeah.
like whatever. I love that moment. I actually my most favorite moments have all been in Asia. The other one is in Tokyo with Mark Holcomb. Um, I remember we went to this like sushi spot with one of the executives from Roadrunner. He was just like inviting us out to sushi or whatever, and that was our first time maybe our first time in Tokyo. I don't remember. Um, but I remember just going to this like unbelievable sushi house in the middle of like downtown in this like old school place, and it was like super traditional. Um, like you take your shoes off, you wear a robe. Like it was like, I was just like the most amazing experience. And it was just, and no one else had wanted to come with us. It was just me and Mark. And like,
Wow.
um, yeah. And me and Mark are just like, just like, fuck it. Let's just do it. Like, let's just
Totally.
go. Let's just do whatever. Like when are we going to be here again? Like, that was 2014. That was the last time I went to Tokyo.
That's amazing. And that,
Yeah.
yeah, like I'm always amazed. Like, yes, we get to travel a lot. Again, we're very fortunate for that. But those are the moments where it's like, you gotta fucking do it, man. Like, why are you
Yeah.
sitting like, what else are you doing in that moment that's gonna be cooler than going to this traditional restaurant, and getting sushi in the middle of Tokyo?
Yeah. Yeah. Or yeah, and I love food, so the more food experiences I can have all over the world is the better. I mean, they don't have to be in fancy restaurants. I love street food. I love eating street food. Like
Yeah.
we've done that in Thailand and like and in the Philippines, or like in South America or in Mexico or like South Africa. I don't know, wherever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh,
I
dude.
just want to have all of the food experiences everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I love that story about the family coming in and just like, come in, stay,
Yeah,
and then like, yeah, not
yeah,
just being like, cool, we'll just, fire it up and make something really quick. It's like, no, we're gonna
yeah.
make this
No,
like
they were
proper meal for you.
they were
That's
super welcoming. I do have pictures. I actually I was looking at them the other day because I was just looking through my photos, but like I like found a couple pictures from that night, and I was just like, man, that's so cool. And it looked exactly the way I remembered it and stuff like that. So it was cool to see that again.
yeah. I think that's just such a. I mean, it is. It is one of the most beautiful things about traveling is just the people that you
Yeah,
meet and those experiences of like you could have easily just been like no, we'll go to McDonald's and we'll just get some bullshit meal, but they were like
yeah,
no, we want to show you us,
yeah.
and give you
That's
that.
exactly like it was. It was like they wouldn't let us leave because we were like, no, we should probably leave. This is like we're not trying to, because it wasn't like there was like three of us. It was like there was like 12
Yeah.
or whatever it was. It was like
Yeah.
a long group of people,
Yeah.
uh, a long group, a large group in a long table or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. It was just crazy. It was just like, it was not a quick event. It wasn't like, if it was like 8 o'clock and they were closing, that's another story. But this was like midnight.
Yeah.
We
That's
left at like 3 in the morning, and then we had lobby call at like 5 to go to the airport. It's like
fully worth it.
absolutely, totally worth
Do it.
it.
I
It was
would
like
do it every
one of
time
my
again.
favorite meals.
Oh, that's
Absolutely.
so good. I love that. So one thing, and I texted you this like I don't know when it was. It seems like it was 10 years ago, but I haven't known you 10 years. So it was at the beginning of this. I had a revelation one night, and now that I'm looking at you, I wish I could say it to your face and then give you a massive hug. But
I know.
you were the first person to ever on tour tell me that it was cool and rad to be sober, and made me feel like that was something that I could be and continue my touring career. And the empowerment and just like the realization that that gave me, I cannot thank you enough for that.
Oh man, that's awesome. It makes me feel awesome.
And I know it's one of those things that like I know it wasn't you being like doing it for any kind of praise, but like the more I thought about it, as I was like starting to share my story and everything, and then started to do this and like the Beautifully Human blog that I was doing, like
Yeah.
it really it started with you encouraging me to just be myself and be like, yeah, dude, come out to the bar and hang with me. Who gives a fuck? Whatever. Who cares what those guys say? Like just come hang. And
they didn't even say anything anyway, so like they
of
don't
course,
care. I think now there was a certain age that like not doing something like everybody would give a shit for, or whatever. But like I feel like now that we're older, like I feel like between maybe like after 27 or 30, whatever. I think even beyond that, we're all like, it's fine. Who
yeah,
cares? Do whatever you want to do. I think we all realize we can do whatever we want and still be happy. We don't have to be fucking hammered all the
right,
time for whatever reason. Like,
yeah,
shit, I didn't. There was a ton of times I didn't like drink at all, and like even this entire pandemic, I haven't really drank at all. I mean, here and there, but like, whatever. I don't remember the last time I actually got like wasted.
yeah.
like, but
I mean, for
I don't
me,
even care.
but me for learning to, it was my first tour back, and I was 3 months sober coming out of a fucking hospital bed where I almost died. So you telling me that, like, I was learning, man. That was a massive,
yeah.
for me, that
was tough for you because obviously you love the job enough to be like, I'm not going to do this for my own health, but like obviously touring is sometimes not stressful, but it can be peer pressure-y. I don't know if that's the right word. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It can be like I'm, like no one's here to judge me except my own self.
yeah, yeah. Because I mean, had I come to you and said like, "Hey, I am 3 months sober, but I want to have a drink," it's like, okay, you know your own personality. It's like,
Yeah.
it's not a place where it's like you have to have this, but it's like, okay, you do you, man. It's not like
Yeah.
super accountability. So
Yeah.
like,
Well, honestly, and I wouldn't want anyone to say the other thing for me. Like, if I would be like, "Hey, I'm sober," I wouldn't want anybody to be like fucking putting a drink in my face or whatever. I'd be like, I fucking told, like,
yeah,
And dude, like, I was like, holy shit! Every night we went out, I was just like, we hung out, and you were there till like 2 or 3 in the or whatever. We would hang out till the end of the night,
yeah,
and you didn't have a drink in your hand. I was like, fuck, that's some willpower, especially for somebody that's been through shit like that. That's fucking nuts. And I was just like, this is amazing.
yeah,
And that's like, that was huge. And that's like, even for me, that's amazing to have that kind of willpower. And like, I wish I had that for other, scenarios in my life, I guess. I don't know.
yeah. But it also, I mean, that tour especially taught me that like, okay, if I can handle that with those dudes, then I can make it. I can do this.
Yeah, with
nothing,
those, yeah, especially
nothing bad
those
about
guys.
those guys, but they partied their asses off, and it would have been a tour when I was drinking. I would have loved it, dude. That would have been like on. I would have been in trouble, but I mean,
Yeah,
it would have been.
They are definitely a little over the top for sure, but
yeah, but I mean, for me, that would have been like, fuck yeah, nobody cares. We're all getting wasted all the time. This is rad.
yeah.
So
There was a moment I filled in for one of my friends for them, and I said that I would never tour with them again because I could not handle it, and like. And I agreed to do it one last time. I was like, all right, but if it's like that again, I'm not. I'm like this. I'm gonna leave the tour.
yeah, yeah,
And it wasn't.
no, but it definitely was like that moment where I was like, okay, if I can handle this, I'm good.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And again, they weren't pressuring me, but just being so inundated with it, just like everywhere all the time. It was nonstop.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, okay, if I can handle this, then I'm all good.
Yeah.
And
I'm doing that right now with smoking. Actually, I quit about 40 days ago.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. I actually didn't think I could do it, but there was like a couple of weeks right before I quit where I was feeling like sick all the time. And like at the end of the night, I would have like a cigarette, and then I would like feel nauseous or like have a really bad headache, and I was just like, man, this kind of sucks. And I had just like I had met my lady already, but I was still smoking, and um, I know she didn't like it, so I wouldn't obviously smoke around her and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna like quit. Like I'm just gonna do it. And like I was all the other times I've like friends have told me to quit, I've never been ready to quit. So
Yeah.
I didn't think that I could do it. Like I would be like, oh, I can go a day or two without smoking, but like I was just like, I need to like fucking do this. And then like finally I was like, you know what, I think I'm ready to do it. There was like tons of other changes happening and like in my life. I guess at that point, I just had met her. Um, I was just we were about to go diving and like all this other stuff, and I was just like, you know what, I'm ready to do it now. And I did it, and like, yeah, I am vaping, not vaping. I'm using the little jewel thing for like nicotine weaning, but I bought a certain number of those little cartridges. I'm like, I'm only gonna do these and then whenever they're done, I'm not gonna buy anymore.
Yeah.
So, and I know that I couldn't do it cold turkey. I think that's crazy. I think I'm weaning myself off, and like slowly and slowly, I've been using the jewel like way less and less. So at
Awesome.
some point, it will be nothing, and I already feel better. I literally can. Before I used to be the first one out of the water because my air would run out.
Oh yeah.
So now I can hang, and like I'm definitely better than I used to be.
That's
And I have
awesome.
a little my clock, my little dive computer tells me the same thing. It's like your rate is improving and shit like that. So
Well, that's
I'm
cool.
super stoked on that. Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
I feel better. I don't feel like huge improvements.
yeah.
Like I'm like I can't like I don't think I could run like 2 miles and not be winded. But I've been smoking for quite a long time, and I think it'll take some time to repair. But
Well, I
I
mean,
think,
but also running 2 miles without being winded doesn't really have much to do with I mean, it does have a lot to do with smoking, but I would be winded too.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know what I'm
Running.
saying. It's like
I know.
like before I couldn't run like a quarter mile without being winded. Now
Yeah.
now I think I could probably do like 3/4 of a mile and be like without stopping,
Yeah. That's awesome, dude.
which is cool. Yeah. So I'm stoked. Slowly but surely it'll get going. And man, that shit's expensive. I have a little app that tells me how much money I've saved and like
Yeah.
how many cigarettes I haven't smoked and shit. So it's like, and I also love the anxiety or like not having the anxiety of being like, where's my fucking lighter?
Right. Yeah, all those little things
Yes.
that you don't think about that come along
Yeah.
with it.
And I love it. And that's just like one less stressor to like think about. So
Yeah. I have an app for my sobriety that I set to,
sweet.
set and at this point and I put mine pretty high of like almost $100 a day and I think that was actually pretty low to be honest of how much I was spending.
Jesus.
I mean, I was buying bottles every day and I was drinking at shows and then going to bars. So I mean, it adds up pretty quick. And
Yeah.
I was very good at just being like, "Fuck yeah, I'll buy drinks," So I
Yeah.
was spending a lot of money, but I put it at like $98 just to make myself feel a little better. And it's at this point, it's pushing $90,000
Holy shit.
in just over like 2 years and 4 months.
That's insane. 2 years, 4 months has it been? That's amazing.
Yeah, just on the 23rd. It was 2 years and four
What's
months.
what's the what's the year date or like the
August 23rd, 2018.
nice
Yeah, man.
23rd? Awesome. I'll remember that first. So when your 3 year comes up, I'll be sure to give you a call.
Fuck yeah, dude. I know. I wrote down that you were 40 days, so I'm gonna figure out when that day is, so I can keep
Oh wait,
encouraging you on that.
let me make sure exactly. It's probably more than that now. 42 days. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, because I know.
Yeah, 42.
I remember when I was talking to a friend of mine who she's like 12 years sober and she's doing incredible with like helping people with it. She's a coach and she told me that like especially with alcohol like those like 5 days, 10 days, 1 month, 2 months, those little anniversaries that people do recognize, but sometimes it's like, oh, it's only been a month. But it's like, man, the amount of like awakening that is happening in your brain in that month, or that 5 months, 6 months, like I'd never really realized like the exact like meaning behind it, or why it was so good to celebrate those. And then I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I'll text people on their 1 month sober, because that's a big accomplishment, like hitting 6 months sober. And just like, yeah, the awakening process that starts in with that is it's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, like, it wasn't. I remember I would post and just be like, "Oh, 31 days sober," or like whatever, and it doesn't seem like a lot at the time, but it's just like you're right. It just starts adding up, and I'm just like, you know what, these little things. Like, I guess the next one I'll like be stoked about is the 60-day mark, and like there have been some hard days here and there, but like I've been around. Like my mother smokes, so being around her, like it's fine. Like I'm not upset or whatever. And then like when I was diving, there's a bunch of people that smoke there on the boat, or like around, a bunch around different people. And I have a few friends that smoke, and like I was around them, like, is this okay? I'm like, man, I don't care. Like I need to be able to like be strong enough to be like, I don't need one,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, and like, and whatever.
That's when
And
you
so,
get to that point where it's like, okay, I'm good. Like
yeah,
mine was
I,
that tour was mine when I was like, oh shit, I got it. I'm good.
yeah, I don't think I'll ever go back. I don't think I'll have a moment where I'll be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go buy a pack.
Yeah.
And I have had friends that have quit and have done that, and I didn't want to be that guy. Like, I didn't want to go quit and then come back to it and just be like, I wanted to just, when I was ready. That's what I told them. I was like, when I'm ready to quit, I'm gonna do it. And like now, I was ready
Yeah.
to quit for forever.
Yeah.
Shit, my dad smoked for a long time, and he quit when he had me, and I think he was like 30 something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's the thing is like when I post about it, and I do it simply to be there for people, not to be on a soapbox of like, look at me and get those accolades. I just want to be there to help people. And
for sure.
that's what I tell people. Like I've had people come to me and say like, I know my friend has a problem with whatever. What do I do? And I said, like the trouble with it is like until me or you are until I was ready, which was me being in the hospital and being told I was going to die. I took it to a massive extreme. It's like until the person's ready, like you just said, you were ready to quit. Like you can't just be
Yeah,
like, hey, you're gonna quit right now. It's like,
yeah,
well, fuck you. I'm not ready.
yeah, yeah,
Even if it's a problem, even if you should, until you come to grips with it in your mind, it's impossible to.
yeah. I feel like you either have to hit like the rock bottom, or you have to hit a certain moment in your life where you're just like, is this really all worth it?
Yeah.
You know, and like I guess I don't think smoking is as bad as alcoholism, but it's still a vice and still can be used. I don't know. It can be viewed as like, be like, well, you can take it to any scenario, or be like, or anybody with problems with drugs or like whatever. It's like you have to be ready to be like, I'm fucking done. Sometimes you will, need somebody to like give you that last push or whatever. But like,
Yeah.
I think ultimately the strongest moment is when you're just like, I need to fucking
Yeah.
get shit together.
Totally. And,
Yeah.
above just like the actual like what's happening in your brain or your lungs or whatever, when you start to quit and move away from it and, start to feel better, the like the days that you put where it's like, okay, cool, now I'm at 30 days. Now I'm at 40 days. Now I'm at 60. Now I'm at this. It's like I've gone 60 days without needing that like I did. So why would if I can do it for these 60 days, like why would I go back and start over? It's like once you get that feeling of like I'm starting to feel better, and like you said, it's not monumental, but it's something. Even if it's just diving, a
Yeah.
difference.
I'm honestly proud of myself, because I remember those days where I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking quit, like, or whatever. And like, I remember the days where I would just be fiending, and not fiending so much. I'd be like, I can't like live without a cigarette. I was never that guy, but uh, definitely on tour it was a lot more because we were bored,
Sure.
So I would just like be like, want to go outside, like, okay, what am I gonna do now? It's like it's 2 hours till doors. I don't have anything. I don't want to sleep. Like I don't know, whatever. Like it would just be like a I'm bored kind of thing, and like uh, it's just like I don't know. It's just I don't want to. I'm good with it. I think now, even now, like I've been bored at home. Some like even these days now, or just right before I left, I've been bored and been able to not do whatever. I just like go on my computer or like play guitar, or, like whatever I
Yeah.
can find it to do. It. It's only like smoking is like a 5 minute thing. It's not even like
Right.
a. It's not like a like a 20 minute like break time or whatever. It's just like it lasts for literally 3 to 5 minutes. You was like, do you really need to do that like right now? It's like, no, I
Yeah.
don't.
Is that
Do
the
something else for
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Do fucking 10 jumping jacks and then like do something else.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Do something constructive. Yeah, I mean, I'm actually surprised I never started smoking because of the boredom or just going hand in hand with drinking.
Oh, and just like everyone, especially like in bars and shit, everyone is fucking smoking.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
It's
I'm
like,
fully shocked that I never did.
yeah,
I mean, I smoked cigarettes sometimes, but it never stuck, which I'm very glad for.
yeah, that's amazing.
I was very happy for that. Um, you've been just scuba diving your ass off.
Dude, I mean, better than fucking sitting on my ass doing nothing, not making any money.
Oh shit, dude. That's so cool, dude. Have you always had you always wanted to scuba dive or had you done that before?
Yeah, actually, I did it like 2003. Uh, I did a bunch, and then like here and there at different places, and then like finally like last year, it was like I'm gonna fucking go with Jeff and Twan and Jeff's wife, and we just went and we're like, holy shit, let's come back here in a year to do our dive master, and that is now.
So you
So
you had planned it in 2019 anyway.
yeah, we planned it
No
to come
shit.
back and yeah, we planned to come back in a year. So we spent like 2 weeks there originally, and then we came back. We were like, we're gonna come back and spend another month or so and do it again. So it was always the plan. So which was cool, but
Well, hey, I mean, at least you had nothing else to get in your way.
yeah, true. I wouldn't have let anything get in the way. I would have just been like, no, I'm not doing this or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Well, it made it easier not having anything.
that's true.
Oh shit. So what all do you have to do for that? What's your certification or what's your time on that?
It's a dive master. So basically, like I can like guide people and like take people on discover scuba diving classes, and like I can like give people refreshers like on people that haven't done it in a long time, shit like that. Like I'm certified to do that. I can't instruct yet. That's a whole nother thing, but like I can guide people through like once I start working at a shop, like if I start working at a shop or whatever, I can like show people, be like, oh, this is the reef, blah blah blah, whatever, and then take them on trips or whatever and be their guide, or whatever.
That is so rad. How deep have you gone so far?
The farthest right now I've gone to 105 feet,
Dude,
which is yeah,
to me that's so just fucking horrifying to me.
it's pretty gnarly. But like actually, like I'm gonna go to 130 feet when I go back. It's another certification. It's like the deep dive course, and then there are dudes that that's like the limit of recreational diving is 130.
Okay.
Um, but then there are these crazy dudes that want to do like I want to do tech diving, which is like even crazier shit. But that's like another whole 2 months of like learning math and shit. I don't want to do right now.
Sure.
But you can get down to a 330 feet, but you need to take like 4 tanks with you, and you need to like stay down there for like 6 hours to decompress and stuff. It's fucking nuts.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get down really quickly. Like you get to 300 really quickly, like maybe within 15 minutes or like or less. But the way back up is the 6 hour trek.
Oh my god. That's
Yeah, I was like, I don't even know what would I do for 6 hours besides like look at stuff, like because you have to stay at a really certain or a really precise level for like 10 minutes at a time as you go up.
Yeah, so you don't like blow out your ears and shit.
Yeah, ears, lungs, nitrogen bubbles. It's fucking nuts.
And you had said you had to stay out of the water for a couple days. Did you have some shit going on with your ears?
Yeah, so basically, if you don't wash your ears out all the time after dives, like say you're in the salt water and then this you don't clean out your ears with salt water, it basically it changes the pH balance of your ears, and it basically causes an infection. And also when you're like equalizing all the time, there's just the eardrum is like flexing all the time, and it basically like gets stressed out, and you get this thing called barotrauma, which is, so I had mild barotrauma, and then I got an infection in both ears also. So, but I was diving. I did like 25 or 24 dives in like 20 days. I was diving twice, 2 or 3 times a day for like 20 days straight, basically.
Jesus, dude.
So yeah, I know, it's crazy. But it was, I'm stoked, and like I can't wait to get back. So now I'm all good. And Tuan actually had a way worse infection. But now it just, the key is to make sure that my ears are washed out every day. Because if like we don't take a shower or like whatever, or just whatever, like sometimes I wouldn't shower after the dive. I'd be like, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll just jump in the pool, but the chlorine doesn't help anyway. It needs to be like fresh water.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it was a bit scary because I was just like, fuck, my ears are like my money makers, like
Yeah,
I don't
no
want.
kidding.
Yeah, so I was out of the water for at least 4 days. Tuan was out for like 10 days.
Damn.
But he's back in. He says he feels better than ever, so I'm stoked to get back.
That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, my thing with diving, like I've always loved being underwater for short periods of time, but like so I think I would enjoy just like the stillness and the quietness, but I think where I would start to freak out is when I'm swimming and I can't, like I'm swimming, I see the bottom and then I can't.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Well, there
that would
is
fuck me up.
yeah, there is that. Um yeah, the whole bottom thing, I like to be at the bottom too, because if we're like next to a wall, it's cool as long as you have something to hold on to. But if you're just in the blue, if you're just in the middle of nowhere and you have no reference point of where you are, it is a little bit scary at that moment. But the water is so clear in Cozumel that um, it's like you can see pretty much 100 feet below you, so, and in all directions. But it's still relatively scary because you still need, like, we have computers and stuff that tell us where we are level wise, because you can fluctuate pretty hard if you don't have a reference point.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm always like looking at my watch and be like, oh shit, okay, I gotta go up, gotta go down, whatever. And then it fucks with your ears too. It's like if you go up and down too fast, like you can't do that. You have to go at a really slow ascent rate and descent rate. It's pretty nuts.
So I mean, all senses on board.
Yeah, there's a lot more physics than everybody thinks
Yeah.
uh, in diving, which is nuts. Because like, I remember when I was younger, I was like, oh, whatever, you just go underwater, it's fine. And now that I'm like doing the dive master, I'm like learning so much more shit
Yeah.
in terms of like the actual physics behind everything, and like why we do things for a certain amount of time, and what's actually happening when I'm going up and down and stuff like that. So, and the barotrauma is, I guess everybody experiences it, so it's not like uncommon. It's very common, um, especially for divers who are diving multiple times a day for weeks and weeks on end.
Damn, dude.
So,
Yeah, so you're not just like, hey, let's put a tank on and put a fucking mask on and let's go see
yeah,
how deep we can go.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you got to be careful, because once you get past 100 feet, so between 100 and 130 feet, you can get narcosis, which is basically makes you feel like you're drunk.
Mm.
And then you tend to, divers that don't know how to deal with it tend to make dumb decisions, like either go deeper, and which has led to people dying, or just to not adhere to their watch stuff and stay down too long or whatever. So there's a lot of shit. So when I go for my super deep dive, I'm going to go with an instructor that's obviously done it a million times. And if I do something wrong, he's going to obviously bring me back up. So once you get back up to 100 or just above that, the effects go away almost immediately. So
Wow. It's so
Yeah.
weird of what the body
Yeah, it's
does.
nuts. The body's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, dude. I mean, one of my biggest fears is being in the middle of the ocean in the middle of the night, just because it's eternal darkness. So I imagine just being underwater, I would just I went snorkeling this year, and I was proud of myself because a lemon shark swam under me, and it was probably like 6 to 8 feet long, and I did pretty good. I didn't. I mean, inside I was freaking the fuck out, but I didn't do anything
Yeah.
irrational. I just kept swimming.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
You know what?
the dive guy was like, "Yeah, they're like puppy dogs," and I was like, "I've never seen a puppy dog with that sharp of teeth." So,
Yeah, yeah. You know, we see a lot of reef sharks and nurse sharks and black tips or whatever in Cozumel, and they're scared of you. Actually, the only ones that are like actually like aggressive are like the bull shark, the tiger shark, and or the whale shark. I forget which one, and then obviously the great white.
yeah,
Those are the aggressive ones. The other ones are just like chill.
yeah. So, like,
But whatever.
what's the craziest thing you've seen diving?
I mean, the craziest thing I saw in North Carolina was a manta ray that was like, I mean, I don't know, 40-foot wingspan. It was gigantic.
Wow.
And we were like diving on this wreck in North Carolina off the coast of like Morehead City. And it was like a little tugboat wreck or whatever. It was super cool. And then I was just looking around and I hear someone banging on their tank. And I was just like, I turned around and there's this giant manta ray just flying around us. It was insane. I've never seen one before. And that's like, there's a lot of things that everybody wants to see when diving. And it's just the manta ray, the eagle ray, which I've seen a bunch, the turtles,
Yeah.
which are super sick. And we saw a hawksbill turtle. And what's the other one? The giant one. I can't remember the name of it. But they're huge. I mean, they're like 20 feet. I mean, they're fucking, I don't know about 20 feet, but they're like massive turtles.
Yeah.
And what else? I don't know. I guess the manta ray is probably definitely the craziest thing. It's huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen a few sharks and stuff, but I don't know if I want to see anything more. I'd love to see like a real whale. That would be cool.
That would be super cool. I've heard
Yeah.
people that have like swam in the Philippines with like whale sharks, and they just think they just said it was like a submarine floating under them because they were just so long and massive.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently in Mexico, there's a place that you can go swim with the whale sharks and bull sharks, either one. So we're gonna see if we can go do that all together.
Damn, dude. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I'm real stoked and real scared. I think one of the things that they say not to do is to, if the one of the sharks is staring you down, to never break eye contact with them until they do first.
Oh, all right.
And I was just like, okay,
Sounds easy.
that's a little scary right off the back. So I was just like, oh shit, okay, well, but whatever. I think it'll be fun either way.
It will. Yeah, it'll be one of those just crazy life experiences, you know?
Yeah, I'm stoked. I don't even care. I just want to do it all, like whatever. And every time I look, when we're like diving to 100 feet even, and I'm just like looking down past 100 feet, and I'm just like, I just want to keep going. You know, I just like, man, it looks so cool down there, and it's just like it just like looks like it's never ending. It's just like, what's even down there?
Yeah.
You know, it's just like they're freaking aliens. And honestly, like I know you were talking about the going in the water at night. Honestly, the night dives for me are the most unbelievable experience.
I bet. I mean, I think once I got past just that monster fear that I have, I know I would love it. It would just be like that
Yeah.
initial like doing it and being like, okay,
Yeah.
here I go. But I bet, I
We
mean, it's got to be just insane down there.
Yeah, we the night dives that we do are on shallow reefs. We don't tend to go very deep at all. We just go to like the shallow areas. But man, the reef comes alive. Like all the octopus come out, all the sea urchins are out, which is crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, you can see them hiding in the reefs, but like at night, they are literally everywhere.
that's so
It's
cool.
it's freaking crazy. And then there's also these like other ones called like there's like pistol shrimp and stuff. I don't know if you've heard of those. They like
No.
Yeah, I don't know. They're nuts. What else comes out at night? Yeah, the octopus. Oh, squid too. We've seen, and Spanish lobsters and
That's so
lobsters in general.
that stuff's so rad. I mean,
Yeah, it's very cool.
I think that's another thing that just terrifies me about the ocean is that there's just so much shit in there that you
Yeah.
just don't know. Like something will come out and you'll be like, "What the fuck is that thing?"
Oh no, they're all everything's an alien down there. It's crazy. I love it.
Oh, I love
I
that. That's so cool. And that I mean, honestly, that's one thing I love about you is that you're just like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. Let's go. In the
yeah.
short amount of time that I've known you, I've come to know that about you of just like when people are up for it, it's like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it. Let's roll.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, we only live once, right? Like like that YOLO thing is so funny, but it's just like it's true.
Right.
Like
It
whatever. Let's just do whatever because like either you're gonna do it now or you're never gonna do it ever, and then you're gonna be like, what happened?
yeah. And I
I couldn't
mean,
do this experience.
YOLO as the douchebag like YOLO, it's like sure, yes, I it is true. It's a very good sentiment to live by in your life of like you do only live once. Don't be a douchebag about it, but actually like go do what you do, not just like I'm
Yeah,
going to take 50 jello shots. YOLO. It's like okay, I guess whatever, but you know,
yeah. Well, just like you, my man, freaking. I remember you guys got the van and like all kinds of you guys traveling around everywhere. I don't even know where you are now.
I'm in Nashville.
Oh, okay, back in Nashville.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I mean, well, dude, I mean like I can truly say YOLO because I was on my fucking deathbed
I know. I
3
remember.
months before I met you, you know? So I'm like sitting there. I wasn't sitting in my hospital bed going YOLO by any means, but I'm sitting there going, well, fuck, man, this can end incredibly quickly.
Yep.
And so, yeah, go live, go do what you want to do, you know, go experience life, you know. And I think that's
Yeah.
what's silly about it to me with so many people that said it. It was like, okay, you say it, but like, go do it. If you're going to say it, that's cool. I don't care if you say it, just go do
Yeah.
something about it.
Yeah, I fully agree, man. It's just like, and just like, so I was there for like 22 days or something. And then I came home for Christmas to spend with my lady. And I'm taking her back with me. And we're going back
Yes.
January 4th until basically like the beginning of February. And it's just like, like, fuck, man, I just like want to stay down there. And like, yes, flying is risky, but like, I don't know. I can't be in DC anymore. It's too cold and too brutal. It's like the darkness sucks. I just like want to be in the sun.
Yeah. So where did
And
you
like,
meet your lady?
huh?
Where did you meet your lady?
On the internet.
Nice. Dude, that's
uh,
so awesome. Another part of
yeah,
that makes me so happy.
yeah. I'm stoked. I mean, she's fucking awesome. She's a pro baker. She's
Yes.
she
Awesome.
she basically runs a bakery now, and she's a power lifter and super strong,
So
super sick. She's teaching me powerlifting, so we're gonna be going to the gym together, and she's gonna teach me how to properly power lift, and maybe I'll become a little beefcake. No, I'm just kidding. But
beefcake.
like um, but yeah, and she also dives too. So diving with and, in St. Thomas and the Caribbean and whatever down there. So she'll come dive with me and she'll get a certification as well. And then hopefully we'll just do a bunch of diving and relaxing and just getting away from the world for a little while.
That's beautiful.
So
That sounds fantastic.
yeah,
I love that, dude.
yeah, man, it's great. It's so
Um,
sick.
dude, yeah. So on that note, I always like to ask this question, especially for my friends who've traveled very extensively, which you definitely have. Obviously, COVID aside and restrictions aside, if I were to hand you a plane ticket to anywhere in the world, I said, "Yo, Alex, where would you go if I gave you a plane ticket to anywhere?"
Man. Um, I mean, Tokyo. Like I always go back to Tokyo. I love Tokyo so much. But if I had to pick a place other than Tokyo, like anywhere in Australia,
Okay. Have you been?
yeah, Melbourne specifically. I love Melbourne. I think Melbourne's a beautiful city, amazing food, amazing coffee. My cousin's down there now. Um, but I love Australia. I think Australia's fantastic. The whole like creatures thing is kind of weird. Like lots of weird creatures down there, but like whatever.
Yeah, yeah, I
But
know.
Australia's super sick.
A friend, so many friends of mine have just sent me photos and been like, "Look at this shit," and I'm like, "What the hell is that thing?" Because I've not been
Yeah,
yet. I will make it there.
yeah. What about you? Where would you go?
Right now, I'd probably want to go to Georgia, not the state, the
Oh,
country of Georgia.
interesting.
Yeah, I met some people in Latvia earlier this year that told me all about it and just the people there and the culture and everything. And I mean, prior to this year, it would have been to go to the Arctic Circle, but I went there. I was in the Arctic Circle exactly a year ago today, which is crazy.
Cool.
You know, so I did that. I've been to the Arctic Circle and saw the Northern Lights briefly. You know, like just a little blip of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I would
and
love to do that. Maybe that's my agenda for the next time.
dude, and then when you do it, call me and I'll tell you how to get there really easily and cheap.
Awesome.
I mean, it's not as daunting as it sounds. I've told people I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, I've been to the Arctic Circle, and they're like, what, how did you even do that? And I'm like, fly to Oslo and then get a flight to Kirkenes for $200. They fly there 4 times a day,
yeah.
and then you're there, and then you figure it out
No
from there.
problem.
But yeah, Georgia, it's just kind of it's kind of like it's in the Silk Road, which I think is a fascinating part of the world. I've never been there, and all the traditions that this woman, we were at a tea shop, and she was just telling us like all these really beautiful family traditions that she'd been a part of while she was there, and I was like, yeah, that sounds rad. Just because it's so different, it's somewhere I've never been, and I think that's top for me right now. Like
That's amazing.
I think that'd be cool. I mean, I'd literally, if like someone just came up and said, "Where would you go?" I'd be like, "Just give me a ticket to everywhere. I'll just like bebop around. I'll go like here and then here and here." But if I had to pick a place, I'd fly to Georgia.
I also want to do where Silfra or like I think or whatever somewhere in Reykjavik they do. There's a dive for a scuba dive that you can do that you swim in between the tectonic plates
Oh, whoa.
and in between two countries, I believe, or two continents. I don't know. I don't remember what it is, but I think it's in Silfra, Iceland, Greenland. I'm so bad. I don't know why I don't know this, but it's basically an ice dive, and it's like I don't know. You just swim in this
Wow.
ultra clear water,
That would be
and
incredible.
yeah,
Yeah, Iceland was pretty amazing. I really enjoyed Iceland.
yeah,
I was drinking a lot at that point too, though, so I'd like a redo on Iceland.
yeah,
Just to actually enjoy it. But yeah, so I don't know, man. I miss traveling. I just miss those kind of experiences where you just meet somebody and they're like, "Yeah, grandma's cooking down the road." And you're like, "Rad, let's go eat with grandma." You know, like I miss that a ton.
yeah,
Like touring I miss, of course, but like I miss that like the freedom of traveling.
yeah, yeah. Traveling. Who knows? I don't know what's. I don't even know what to expect anymore. Like I've been offered some tours now coming up in June, and for like the festivals in Europe and stuff, and I'm like, I don't even know if like I don't think it's gonna happen. It's too like if they're not gonna have a 200,000 person festival now.
No.
Like download Hellfest, like all those festivals, like none of that shit is gonna happen. You out of your mind?
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, no way. And on top of that, it's just like you know what? I don't even. It's not that like I love traveling. It's not that like I don't love touring. It's just like I love doing sound, right?
Yeah.
And like I love doing sound more than I love touring. Like I don't love all the other shit that comes along with like being away from home and like friends and relationships and like stuff like that. Like I don't want to deal with that anymore. Like I'm over it. Like
Yeah.
I love doing sound, but like the only way to do that was to like to tour because like if you're gonna work in a venue, like um you're basically just a babysitter and I don't want to babysit, like I want to
Right.
be yeah. Like I think I'm like I don't even know. I can't make a decision right now because it's like I just can't. Right now I'm happy doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm scuba diving. I'm going to spend another month in Mexico and I'm just happy doing that and We'll see what happens. Like, I don't know. I hate this like 5-year plan. All these 5-year plans are worthless.
Yeah,
Everyone who's
always.
ever made a 5-year plan, like, I guess it's good to have some kind of idea of what you want to do. It's like, obviously, yes, I want to buy a house eventually at some point or whatever, and I want to like have a family and like whatever. Obviously, but like I cannot make a concrete plan because shit like this is going to happen. Well, obviously, this is the first time that's a pandemic has happened in quite some time, but
Right.
like I don't know what decision to make. So I was like talking to the dudes from the band. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I can't say yes and I can't say no. Like,
Yeah,
right now I can't tell you because I don't know what is going to happen with my life.
exactly. Yeah, it is.
So
I mean, I know a lot of people were like, let's get out of 2020. And now we're out 3 days out from being out of 2020. And I'm like, what is
yeah,
2021? Like, what's
yeah.
that one?
Honestly, 2020 has been obviously a blessing and a curse for, well, for me. I mean, obviously, like, yes, like our jobs have been diminished to basically zero. But I was like, I can't just do nothing. So like I opened a woodworking business. So like
Yeah.
I opened a shop, which is amazing. And like I learned a hell of a lot doing that, and like it was pretty successful. And obviously now I haven't been able to do much, which kind of sucks. But like obviously I'm doing something else,
Yeah.
but been diving. Um, I also met my wonderful new girlfriend, who's fucking awesome, and I don't think I would have met her if any of this didn't happen, because I was like would not have been here or whatever. So
Yeah.
that's like people have had a terrible year. I've also had a terrible year. I'm losing money, obviously, like everybody else.
Yeah.
But like I'm trying to push forward and trying to get other, you gotta all branch out. Like I didn't think I was gonna have a woodworking business. Like, yes, I like to do woodworking, but I wasn't like prepared to make 300 cutting boards in a month or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Right.
but it's like everybody's just got to start somewhere, and who knows, like I might, you may like, just branch out and do all kinds of shit. I want to make anything. You don't have to do whatever. And then like now I'm diving, and like I don't know if I want to go be an instructor,
Right.
but like I am on that path to being an instructor. I just don't know if I want to be yet.
Yeah.
um but
But now you have the skills and you can do it if you feel that,
yeah,
if you want to go down
yeah,
that way, which is rad.
yeah. And maybe, I don't know, like I know it doesn't pay a lot, but you know what, it's like I'm in the sun all the time, you're in the water all the time. It's beautiful, the world is absolutely gorgeous, and I like love seeing everywhere. Like I love going to different places, and like it's just like with traveling, but like when you're underwater, it's like I feel like I travel to a different planet every single dive.
Oh yeah, you have to.
I've dived the same place like on the last, now in December, I dived the same place like maybe 12 times, like the same shore, the same route. And I was just like, this is cool. This is like new every single time.
Yeah.
And I love that. I think that is so cool. And I just love experiencing all that new all the time. So right now I've been a little anxious to get back.
I'm
Um,
sure.
I feel time has moved a bit too slowly for me
Yeah.
right now. But I'm also not being productive. I've just been like playing video games and hanging with my lady, which
Yeah.
is not a bad thing.
Not a bad
Um,
thing.
but I haven't been able to be productive the past couple days. But tomorrow I'm going to go help out my buddy and clean out his garage, so that'll be cool.
Nice.
And then it's New Year's, and then a couple more days, and then we're off to Mexico again.
Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. And then like Jeff just was supposed to stay in Mexico until like mid-January, and he just changed his mind, and now they're staying until like mid-February. So like
Awesome.
who knows what might happen with me. I'll be like, I'm just gonna stay here for another couple
Yeah.
of years.
Yeah. Why not?
Probably not. I don't know. But yeah, man, I just like love it. I like having that freedom too, just like you. It's just like being able to do whatever you want to do, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have an awesome partner to do it with.
Totally. Yeah. It
She's
was.
so cool. I can't wait to hang with you guys.
I know, dude. It's gonna be so good when we finally get
Next
to.
time I come to Nashville, we'll fucking hang.
Fuck yeah, dude. Of course.
Yeah. There's a quarry in Nashville that I dived at.
Oh, cool.
It's just north of Nashville, Martha's Quarry or something. But
Nice.
it's, yeah,
Right on. All right, brother. I got two more questions for you.
yeah. Hit me.
Um, what would you want the world to know about you?
Oof. That's What do I want the world to know about me? Oh man, I don't know. I'm so like hmm. This is a tough question. About me? I don't know. I don't even know how to respond. Um okay, give me an example. Like shit, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I've had anywhere from like, I believe in people, and I want the best, or like, just I don't know, all
Hmm.
kinds of
Okay.
I've had all kinds of different responses of like, just any descriptors about yourself. Just
Yeah.
basically like a I'm pumping myself up
Yeah.
kind of moment.
Hmm.
Like I would say that you're an incredibly kind human and that you truly believe in people and that you have an infectious laugh and all these kind of things. You know what I mean?
Man, you
Like
can just do it. You should just be like, "What's one thing you would say about me?" No. Uh, appreciate that, man. That's really nice of you.
yeah, of course,
Um,
dude.
shit, I don't know. It's so weird because I'm not like I feel like uh, I'm not so. Hmm. I don't know. I want the world to know that there is always someone listening out there. Um, and I say that because every time I've been sad, there's always been like I have a friend to listen to anything that I have to say. I have a couple friends that I'm so grateful for, and like I want everybody to know that like I'm always listening. Like if you have an issue, like I want to hear it, um, and that we're not alone, anywhere. And I know people tend to be like, I'm gonna die alone, I'll be single forever, or like whatever. It's just like, no, you won't, man. We're always look at the love that you have around you. Like we may not always be together. Like, for instance, like you and I,
Yeah.
like we don't speak all the time, but like when we have spoken, it's just like time hasn't moved a day,
Right.
and it's just like I love stuff like that, and I love having friends like that. So,
Yeah.
um, I don't know if that's really about me, but I guess I'm always listening to everybody. um, I don't know. It's such a weird question. I've never like wanted to be like, what am I? I don't know.
That's all good, man.
It's cool.
Yeah, I like to ask it to for
It's a good. It's a
self
good question.
empower, self empowerment.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's like it's weird because I don't ever like want to. I don't know. I don't ever think I'd be like I did good today. I guess I'm really proud of myself for the last couple of months for overcoming some shit in my life. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Quitting smoking, huge thing. Didn't think I
Yes.
could do it. Um, Losing a bunch of weight, that's awesome. Also,
Definitely.
having the will, I think being able to have the willpower, and I think I have it. I can lose it sometimes, but it comes back and forth in waves. But I think getting the willpower to be strong and keep going is definitely an awesome attribute to have.
Yes. I would yes, I would have to agree. I think that's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
All right, last one, and you kind of did answer it, but I'm going to ask it again. Just see what you got on this one. Is if you had the ear of everybody in the world, what would you say to them?
Yeah, if I had the ear of everybody. Yeah, I guess I sort of did answer that, but like that like someone's always listening, and um that I'm a super emotional person in general. Um but like a lot of people and recently I've been talking to a few friends that have been kind of sad, um and they like think that nobody loves them and whatever. It's more like you just don't have the. It's just like there are lots of people that love you. They just like you don't know that they're expressing it to you. You know, like there's so much love in this world in general, and even just like watching you go around the world, just being like meeting new people and being like, look at our new friends and like all that stuff is like there's so much love in the world that I think people are afraid to express it. Um, and I know that people express their love in many different ways, and I know one person in particular that doesn't express their love um, via like verbally, but
Yep.
more so physically. And I can understand this person through physical touch or just by the way their mannerisms are or like whatever. And I think that's so unique and beautiful. And like, I think that people need to realize that just like verbal love isn't the only way people can express anything, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like it, and it's really crazy that me and this person can communicate that way.
Yeah.
And I think that's just like the most incredible thing ever. It's just been blowing my mind, and I like can't get over it. So
That's amazing. I love that.
yeah, I do too. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
man. There's plenty of love. There's a lot of hate in this world, but you know what? Fuck that. There's far more love in this world.
You're goddamn right. Fuck the haters.
Fuck the haters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ah, dude. Well, thank you for being on with me, man. This is fucking awesome.
Dude, I'm so stoked to be on. I was so stoked to do it with you. Like I wanted to do it in Mexico, but like the internet is so shit there that I was like, I don't want to do it till I get home.
Yeah. No, it's all good, dude. It is all
Yeah.
good. I'm just happy to talk to you.
Hell yeah, you too, man. Well, we'll keep in touch more often so we can
Yeah. Fuck
uh,
yeah.
see how you're doing. And nice. Well, if you end up going to Southeast Asia, I will come there with my lady and we'll go dive in Southeast Asia, which there's beautiful diving out there.
I would love that. I would love to
Yeah.
learn, dude.
And then
Tackle some
I can
fears.
teach you. I'll be
Yes.
like, I'm certified to teach you.
See, that would actually make me I would feel so much better learning if I knew somebody. Like, not that I don't.
Well, I'm not certified yet. Let me all finish my studies and then we'll do. We'll go
Yeah.
from there.
We got time for that.
Yeah. Oh man, it's been awesome. But yeah,
Dude, so good to see you, brother.
you too, man. You look good. I like the hair, long hair.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was crazy. Like, I was looking at photos of me from that tour, and I sent it to a friend of mine in Ohio who saw me like right after the hospital, and then like obviously has seen me ever since. And she was
Yeah.
like, "Will you send a photo just so I can see?" And then she was like, "Oh my god, even your hair has gotten healthy." She's like, "You just didn't look healthy because like your hair was still not that healthy." And she's like, "Everything just looks
Yeah.
healthy on you." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, it's been a full switch, man."
Amazing.
It's
I'm
so
so
good.
happy. It makes me so stoked to even see the whole. I mean, I didn't see the entire transformation, but I saw it relatively newish.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
and it's been amazing.
and I mean, like I know I sent you that text that day, but dude, like from the whole of my heart, every part of my heart, man, like you just truly showed me it empowered me more than you'll ever know. And I know you didn't do it for that, but like when I was just I think about life a lot, it's
Yeah, of course.
I like to think about it. And man, like I was just sitting there that night and I just burst into tears and I was like, man, I I cannot thank you enough. Like, and I know you
Well,
don't
you're
need the
welcome, man.
thanks and everything, but like it truly was just like, fuck, man. At that moment I didn't think of how incredible that was to hear, but the more I think about it, I'm just like, yeah, I couldn't be where I am today without having heard that from you.
That's awesome, man. That makes me so happy.
And beyond the
Now
fact that you're
you're
just
gonna
like,
make me cry
dude,
now.
I know I get choked up, man. But like even then we started hanging out, and then like I
Yeah,
just think you're a fucking amazing person in general. But
you are, man. You're
fact
the
that
amazing person.
the fact that you gave me that gift was beyond amazing.
I'm glad, man. Well, I can't wait to fucking one of these days, we'll get out there and we'll go travel together
Yes,
and
yes,
not have to
yes,
work.
yes, exactly. We'll go do some real traveling.
Yeah, real traveling. I don't. What is that? I don't even.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
We'll
fuck
figure it
yeah,
out
man.
again.
Fuck yeah, dude.
All right. Fuck yeah.
Love you, man.
Love you too, brother.
Bye.
See you. Thank you for listening to the Beautifully Human podcast. To hear more beautiful stories from beautiful humans, follow us on Spotify and rate and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Instagram at Wanderlust Moon Duo. Peace signs up.